Om Bhadram Karneभिः शृणुयाम देवाः Bhadram पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागं सस्तनूभिः विषेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om. Yeah. Dear devotees, we had a Christmas vacation for 2 weeks, and it was a time for all of you also to probably recollect and have a small holiday, Vedanta holiday, I hope. So now again, maybe today and next class we'll be trying to finish or complete reading the Mundaka Upanishad. Though there is no complete, it is a lifelong project. It is not like any graduation or post-graduation, you read and you finish exams and you're done. It is not like that. It is a lifelong project. Last 2-3 classes, I have tried to, teach, or I have tried to make you understand how one can read shloka yourself. Like taking a one word and what is the meaning of it and trying to connect the ideas. And the fifth shloka I had briefly discussed in the previous class. Again, today I'm taking so that you can have a more clarification. Apart from trying to explain the word, I'll be going bit deeper, like earlier times, and trying to connect so that in the same mechanism, more or less, if you use, if anyone of you want to read some other Upanishads or other Vedantic texts, you can try to read and understand yourselves to some extent. Not completely, of course, you can try to read. So keeping that in the mind, I will be discussing the fifth and sixth verses or mantras in today's class. So basically, here sadhana phalam is being told here. The fruits of jnana. When I finish my graduation or post-graduation, what do I get it? One is I'm graduated, so I get a good name and fame or a social status. And apart from that, I will get a job so that I can take care of my family. So for every work, some phala, karma phala will be there. So similarly, okay, I struggled and I got the realization. I got the self-realization. What I am going to get? Or a person who gets self-realization, what is he going to get? This question may come. That has been told in the 3 or 4 slokas, which we already know, but still in a better way or in a different way, Upanishad is trying to tell, so that it is encouraging us to take the path of spiritual path so that one can realize the self, experience one's own nature. Samprapyenam rushayo gnanatuktaha कृतात्मनो वीतरागाः प्रशान्ताः ते सर्वगं सर्वतः प्राप्य धीरा युक्तात्मनः सर्वमेवा विशन्ति. Having attained this, the seers become contented with their knowledge, established in the self, freed from attachment and composed. Having realized the all-pervasive one everywhere, these discriminating people, ever merged in contemplation, enter into the all. Now, one word I'm taking now in the second line, in the third line, dhiraha. So dhiraha means dhi is intuition. So one is dhira means, in Kannada at least it is told, dhira means one who has got a lot of courage. That courage can come from 2 types of courage, we may get it. One is physical courage. For example, soldiers we see, and quite a few people, they may face any troubles, any enemies, or any amount of problems they face. So physical hardships. And second is mental hardships, people. And here dhira is the discriminative personality, that is the spiritual courage we are speaking. Means one who has understood the moksha alone is the real goal of the human life or human birth. The real goal of the human birth is what? The moksha or the mukti. One who has understood. And one who has got convinced is called Dhira in the Upanishad. And one more is who has well developed in Nitya, Anitya, Vastu Viveka. Again, care of Tattva Bodha class or Drugdashya Viveka class Prakarana Grantha. Sadhana Chatush Sampannata we speak, which is the basic necessity to study Vedanta. We study Vedanta, sometimes we don't understand, sometimes we do understand, but we are not able to put into practice this philosophy, the grand philosophy. Why? Is the problem in Vedanta? No, it is because we are lacking in this sadhana chatushtaya sampannata, the four prerequisites. So the fourth prerequisite was moksha, mumukshutva, intense desire for liberation. So the dhira means one who has got intense desire for liberation and who has strived to attain that liberation. And who has also established in the first sadhana chatusampanata, who has got good discriminative faculty, who has well-developed discriminative faculty. Means discriminating between eternal and ephemeral, nitya and anitya vastu viveka. He is called dhiraha. Okay? And vitaragaha. In the second line, we see vitaragaha. Vita ragaha. Vita means free. Ragaha means attachment. So is free from attachment. So this Vita Raga also includes Vita from Arishad Varga. Vita Kamaha is free from worldly desires. Vita Krodhaha is free from anger. Vita Lobhaha is from ostentation. And is Vita Madaha is free from unnecessary pride, arrogance. So that Vita can be added to all the Arishad Vargas. That means one who has got Vairagya, one who doesn't have any interest in the world and worldly objects. He may be living in the world. He may be a CEO of the company, or he may be a team leader. He may be a manager. He has got a household. He has got family. He's taking all of that. He's taking care of all of that, but he's free from all that. Why? Because he is not attached. Then the immediate question for us comes, without attachment, how one can lead the family? How one can take care of wife or husband or children? Yes, it can be. There's a fundamental difference between love and attachment we don't understand. Should I love my wife? Yes. Should I love my husband? Yes. Should I love my children? Yes. But don't attach. Swamiji, you are saying love your family people and don't get attached. What is this? It doesn't go well. It doesn't go like this, Swamiji. No, it goes. But we are confused between love and attachment. Because of attachment, we suffer. Because of love, we don't suffer actually. If that is the case, Sri Ramakrishna loved the entire humankind. Swami Vivekananda loved entire humankind. Buddha loved entire humankind, every one of us. Jesus loved every one of us. That means they should be more sufferers than us. Did they? No. So that's why love and attachment, there are two different things. It is not the same. In the name of love, we are attached to people, we are attached to things, and that's why we are suffering. So now, Vitaragaha means one who is free from attachment, means one who has got Vairagya, Viragasya Bhavaha Vairagya, one who has got detachment, well-established detachment, one who has got renunciation. Either if it is for a monk, it is internal and external renunciation. If it is for householder, it is only internal renunciation. External renunciation is not told. Okay. And also this vairagya means world is been not used for luxury or for enjoyment. World is used as a means to attain moksha or mukti. This body can be used as an instrument of, enjoying sense gratification. The same body can be used as a temple, or can be seen and can be used as an instrument, as a temple of God. So this can be used as an instrument to reach our goal. So how we use the world, how we use the body is very important. Here Vairagya, Vitaraga means one who has got Vairagya. One more, Sadhana Chatusha Sampannata. Second sadhana chatusambha. Here amotra palabhogadi viraga. That vairagya has been told here in this one word. So one word, how much deep meanings it is being conveyed, we can understand. So one is dhira, the other is vitaragaha. In the second line, one more word, beautiful word is called prashantaha. Prashantaha means one who is composed in nature. Oh, in our house, there is a cow, beautiful cow. It is very calm in nature. If you go in front, it will not do anything. And if it goes back also, it doesn't do anything. Is it that type of goodness we are speaking, composed nature, good for nothing? No. Here, composed nature means one whose body and mind, sorry, one whose mind and sense organs are under control. That is what the self-discipline in sadhana chatushte sampannata. That is what the third discipline, shamadamadi shatka sampattihi. 6 disciplines. So what are the 6 disciplines, Swamiji? Again, if you ask me, I will be in problem. So I will say, care of Prakarana Granthas. Kindly refer Prakarana Granthas. Anyhow, just I will name them. Shama, control of mind or mind control. Dama, senses control. Then Uparati, equanimity. Titiksha, forbearance. Samadhana, one-pointed concentration. Shraddha, that is faith. So these are the 6 virtues one has to develop. Because of the disciplined life, one can excel in spiritual life. Mere intense desire is not enough. So Prashantaha, one who has got composed nature. How he has got composed nature? Because he has followed all the 6 disciplines and he has got a very disciplined life and he has got a virtue called contentment. And this has been achieved by control of the mind, control of the desires, by japa, by prayer, by meditation, by parayanas, all of them. By doing that, we are trying to attain concentration and converting the worldly mindedness to godly mindedness, or worldly mindedness to conscious mindedness. For Siddha Purusha, for the realized person, it is the fact. And for us, spiritual aspirants, this has to be cultivated and this has to be attained. So why should we do prayer? Why should we do meditation? Why should we do inner worship, external or internal worship? Why should we do parayana? Because soak your mind in the God or godly thoughts and remove the worldliness. So that you lessen the worldly desires, increase the godly desire, then it is easy to control your mind. Why our mind is unable to control? Because of our desires. And the restlessness we say, that is all because of the desires only. Okay. And one more important, beautiful word in the 4th line in this shloka, yuktatmanaha. One who is ever merged in deep contemplation, Vedantic contemplation or meditation. So people say, Swamiji, I am trying so much, but I am not able to get moksha or mukti. Fine, fair enough. How much you are trying? Swamiji, morning 15-20 minutes I'm meditating, evening 15-20 minutes I'm meditating, in between half an hour I'm trying to read the book. How much ever I'm doing, and I'm not able to get moksha or mukti. Many people think this, many people come with this complaint. So 15-20 minutes he does japa morning, meditation, and evening 15-20 minutes or half an hour japa meditation, and half an hour, 1 hour they read and they want moksha or mukti. Is it such an easy product available? No. So that has to be as much as possible. So much we have to do it. That's why here yuktatmana means one who is merged, ever merged in deep contemplation. Then what about his duties? If he's a grahastha, yes, he may be doing it. Whatever is required, he may be doing it. But rest of the time, he spends most of the time in his meditation, in his contemplation, or in the Vedanta Vichara. So basically, his focusing capacity or attention span in Vedanta or in spiritual practices has been increased. Quality and quantity. So both has to be increased for us. So daily 1 hour, 2 hour meditation, if you do, that is enough to clean day-to-day accommodations. For example, today you clean house, tomorrow should you clean or not? Yes, it is better because dust will be there. Otherwise, at least after 2 days or maximum 3 days, you have to clean. So regularly, if you clean, your house is clean. Otherwise, your house will be dirty. So similarly, daily 1 or 2 hours of meditation, by that what happens? Daily dust we are, just like it accumulates in our house, daily trash we are adding in our life, in our day-to-day life, that helps us to clean it. So it is just general maintenance, that's all. For moksha and mukti, we have to increase as much as possible japa, meditation, or studies without neglecting our day-to-day work. So focusing capacity has to be increased. So yuktatmana means also it is said as samahita chittaha. So who is dhira, who has got Prashanta, who is Prashanta, who is Vitaraga, who is Iktatmanaha, he is called Rushayaha, he is called Rushi. Film and serial effect. Who is Rushi? Who has got a long beard. One who is wearing a dry or a shabby clothes. One who eats leaves or roots or the fruits, and one who is living in the forest. It is the definition of the Rushi for many of us. No, none of them are definition of Rushi. Means Rushati Janati iti Rushi. Rush means to know. One who is desiring to know the truth and experience the truth is called Rushi. So if you are desiring to know the truth and experience the truth seriously, you are also in the path of that attaining the Rushitva. If it is a female, then it's called Rushika. If it is a male, it's called Rushi. So one who has got all these qualities is the seer of truth. And through sadhana chatush sampannata, that 4 prerequisites, and one who does shavana, manana, nididhyasana, regular hearing, reflective thinking and contemplation, all by doing that, he attains moksha or he attains mukti. So by the above process, he attains the Rushihood, means he is the experiencer of the self. I am Brahmasmi. So that Rushi, what will be his nature? He has experienced the Brahman, he becomes Gnanatruptaha. He is contented with the supreme knowledge. Are we all contented? When we hear Vedanta classes, it looks so nice, it looks so beautiful, it is very true. I am Brahman, not the body and mind. I should not get boggled, I should not get disturbed from anything. We all think, we all get convinced as if, but after the class, in no time, or just one message, one phone call, or something, all our Vedanta goes to backstep, or it gets evaporated. Then we go into back to pavilion. So that has not been assimilated well. But in this people, Rushya case is Gnanatrupta. He is not contented with the mobile, from the mobile or by the mobile or with the mobile. He is not contented with the ice cream, or is not content with the chocolate, is not content with the gold or whatever. He is contented with the self, with himself. So there may be food is required for his basic body sustenance, but as he himself, he doesn't need anything. He doesn't crave for anything. His mind doesn't desire for anything. Why? He is Gnanatruptaha. He is happy in the self-knowledge, the knowledge of the self, not even in anything else. Then Krutatmanaha, his life is blessed. Oh, many times people say, I'm not saying derogative way, but people say, Swamiji, I have finished my life. I am feeling blessed. Okay, thank you. What did you do? Oh, Swamiji, I struggled. I worked hard. I did my job. Then married. Then 2 children. 2 children, they are married and they are well established. Swamiji, I am feeling blessed. I have done my life. I think I have completed my life. Many people say that. I'm not saying it is wrong. I'm not undermining that. But this type of contentment is being spoken in the Upanishad. No. Here, Krutatmana, one who is feeling blessed, one who is feeling contented. Here, one who is established in the Supreme Self, one who has experienced that he is that self, that contentment has come from the spiritual experience, the experience of the self. So, or otherwise, who has lost his pseudo-individuality. One who has lost his pseudo-individuality is called Krutatmanaha. So, Rushayah, Gnanatruptaha, Krutatmanaha, Vitaragaha, Prashantaha, Dhiraha, Yuktatmanaha. So this is the quality of the Brahmagnani. Samprapya, having attained, having realized, then what happens? They become Gnanatrupta, Muktatma, and etc. So those people, who are those people? Gnanatruptaha, or Vitaragaha, Prashantaha, Yuktatmanaha, Krutatmanaha, those people means basically Jivan Muktas, self-realized people while living in this physical body, Prapya, having realized, what? Realizing of what? Sarvagatam, Sarvataha. They have experienced the self. The nature of the self is what? Sarvagatam. It is all pervasive. Sarvataha, it exists, omniscient and omnipresent. Sarvagatam means it is all pervasive, means it is like a space. Now I am in Dublin, but I cannot be in India. I am in Ireland, so I cannot be in US. So as Shantivratananda, he is limited by time and space. He is limited by space, isn't it? Whereas the Brahman is not limited. Why? It is infinite. It is all pervasive. Sarvagatam. Sarvataha. Okay, but again I've got limiting adjuncts. Time, space, this body has got also like hands, legs, and etc. Limiting adjuncts. Then sarvata means it is not limited by any adjunct, it is everywhere. Then avishanti, he enters. When he understands, when he experiences the self, what happens? He enters into it. This is all figurative usage. Sarvam eva, enter into that complete. That is, what is that complete? Brahman. Brahmavid, Brahmaiva bhavati. One who knows Brahman, he becomes Brahman. See, this is the difference. If you know calculus, you don't become calculus. If you know thermodynamics, you don't become thermodynamics. You are good at analytical geometry, you will not become analytical geometry. You are good, grammarian, for example, Vyakarana, grammarian, you will not become grammar. But if you know the Brahman, you will become Brahman. You will become Brahman is also just figurative usage or just limitation of language. But you will become Brahman. So the Gnana Phala has been told here. So the qualities of the Mukta Purusha has been told, and that has to be attained by sadhakas. And from that, he will live the contented life. So how can I be contented? How can I have a complete life? How can I have a blissful life, blessed life? We get questions, isn't it? For that, the answer has been told in this fifth verse or fifth mantra. How one can have the blessed life and why one should strive for realization, self-realization. It may be difficult. It may be challenging. Lot of things we have to leave away, we have to give away, but that is worthwhile. The same now in the fifth verse or fifth mantra, the nature of Jivan Mukta has been told. Jivan Mukta means one who is realized while living. In the Mukti, there are three types of Muktis according to Advaita Vedanta. One is Jivan Mukti, second is Krama Mukti, Videha Mukti, third is Krama Mukti. Jivan Mukti means while living in this body, he realizes and he gets liberated. Then Videha Mukti, he led a spiritual life, he does a lot of tapas, lot of sadhana and all. At the time of death, he realizes he is a self. He is not the body and mind, he realizes he is the self. That is called Videha Mukti. And one who has done a lot of upasana, lot of sadhana and all, even at the time of death, he didn't realize, but he was well established in the spiritual path. Then he goes to the Brahma Loka. He stays there after a certain period or at the end of the yuga, then he attains the emancipation or the mukti. That is called Krama Mukti. Now, in the fifth verse, we saw Jivan Mukti. In the sixth verse, we will be saying Videha Mukti. Videha Mukti, Vigatam Deha. One who has lost his body. Now, every death person, for example, if I die, a Ajnani dies, he also loses his body. But here, he is losing his body completely, once for all, no more, means he will not have any birth. So, Videha Mukti has been explained in the sixth verse, sixth mantra, let us see. And this is often quoted when monks come to the houses or to the any place, function and all. This is a often quoted shloka. Vedanta Vignana Sunishchitartaha Sannyasa Yogat Yataya Shuddha Sattvaha Te Brahma Lokeshu Paranta Kale Paramrutaha Parimuchanti Sarve. Those to whom the entity presented by the Vedantic knowledge has become fully ascertained, who are assiduous and have become pure in mind through the yoga of monasticism, all of them at the supreme moment of final departure become identified with the supreme immortality in the worlds that are Brahman, and they become freed on every side. Anyhow, don't bother, we'll go to the detailed explanation. Now, Shuddha Sattvaha, this is very important. Shuddha Sattvaha means having become purified in the mind by following sadhana chatushya sampannata. So this is very, very important. This is the base actually. Without that, no Vedanta, be of avail for us. Why? Because without purity of the mind, Without control of mind or etc., Vedanta cannot give the complete result. So Shuddha Sattva means one who has got absolute purity of mind by following the Sadhan Chatushtaya Sampatti. Okay, Shuddha Sattva, Yatayaha. Yataya means one who is struggling or one who has struggled enough. Yatis. Monks are also called yatis. Why? Because they are struggled enough, or they're struggling, or they're struggled enough to reach God. So it is not the struggling in the mundane world, it is struggling in the spiritual world. Yatayaha means yatis basically. One who has spent enough time for a right cause in the right direction. One who has spent or one who is spending enough time for the right cause in the right direction is also very, very important. Okay. Sannyasa Yoga. How, from what is the path they have taken, from what they are spending, how they are spending from Sannyasa Yoga. Means through the path of monasticism. By external renunciation and internal renunciation, they are getting purified and they are going further, they are traveling further in the path of spiritual life. And in the commentators, when you say Sannyasa Yoga, they say Jnana Yoga. So basically, God dependence life or conscious centered life. From world centered life, they have shifted to God centered life, and it has been getting more and more practice and been getting established. Or from the world centered life to self centered life, means conscious centered life. So from prapanchikata, we are trying to go for adhyatmikata or adhya or spiritual centered life basically. Okay, Vedanta Vijnana Sunishchitartha. Artha means tatparya, the essence. So Nishchita means one who has definitely, and Sunishita, Samyak Nishchita. One who has certainly, one who has clearly understood what is the essence. What is the essence of speech? What is the essence of the argument? What is the essence of the world? What is the essence of our discussion? We all speak. So is that essence we are speaking? No. Here, the essence of the entire humanity, the essence of entire creation, the essence of the existence. What is that? And he has nicely has understood. Vedanta Vijnana. So what the Vedanta Vijnana says, the science of reality, what it says, that he has understood certainly, clearly. There is no doubt, there is no ambiguity. Maybe true, maybe I don't know. No, certainly, completely. So what is that Vedanta Vijnana? Brahma Satyam, Jagan Mithya, Jivo Brahmaiva Naparaha. Brahman alone is real and the world is an what? Appearance, is an appearance, and there is no essential difference between individual self and supreme self. This is what Vedanta Vijnana. That he has understood and he has got firm conviction. So Vedanta Vijnana Sunishchitartha Sannyasa Yoga Yatayah Shuddha Sattvaha. The first two lines we studied. Now, Te Sarve. Te means Sarve. Those people means that Yatayaha Shuddha Sattvaha or Vedanta Vijnana Sunishchitartha people. Brahma Lokeshu Parantakale. Those people Parantakale at the time of final departure. Parantakale. Parantakale means at the time of final departure, at the time of death. Brahma Lokeshu. Here Brahma Lokeshu means again in the Brahma Loka. That's what little meaning happens, little translation or meaning. No, we have to be careful. Here Brahma Loka means it is not like we have got 7 worlds above and below 7 worlds, like Bhu, Bhuvar Loka, Suvar Loka, Mahar Loka, Janar Loka, Tapar Loka, Brahma Loka. The 7th world is what? Brahma Loka. Is that Brahma Loka has been told? No. Here Brahma Loka means it is Brahman or Brahma Chaitanyam. So, Te Parantakale, those people at the time of death, Brahma Lokeshu means in Brahman. Parimuchyante. Te sarve Brahma Parantakale, Brahma Lokeshu Parimuchyante. Parimuchyante means they will get merged into Paramrutaha. Paramruta means those to whom the supreme immortality means they attain the immortality. Then, okay, when we die also, it is our final departure, isn't it? It is temporary final departure. Why? I have died. Ajnani dies. Embodied soul, Jivatma dies. Then what happens? His physical body is left here only. Either it becomes a part of ash or it becomes part of mud. But his Sukshma Sharira and Karana Sharira travels, and he or she takes a new birth. Again, the circle starts. Again, the process starts. So it is a temporary final departure. To that particular Janma, it is only final departure, but it is not real departure, not final departure. But for this Gnani, one at the time of death, who has experienced that is the self, not the body and mind, for him it is parimuchante, because they get merged into the Brahman. They get merged into Brahman. That's why it is Paranta Kale. That is why it is final departure. Means there is no more birth for them. There is no more birth and no more death. The samsara chakra, the life of birth and death, that wheel has been cut asunder. Just like when we are riding a bicycle, if the chain gets cut, what happens? How much ever do we pedal, the cycle won't go further. Why? Because the connection between two wheels has been broken. So similarly, when the chain gets broken, there is no more, the cycle cannot go. Similarly, here the circle or the chain between life and death called two wheels has been broken. So he is no more birth and no more death. He is completely free. Then what happens to him? There is no more he, there only Brahman and Brahman alone exist. So what happens in the time of death and how it happens has been told beautifully in the next shloka, a very interesting shloka. Let us try to understand. For example, now it is called Videha Mukti. At the time of death, one who was well established, well got convinced I am the self, and who struggled, who did lot of penance, lot of spiritual practices, studies, contemplation, and at the time of death, he merged into Brahman. He realized that he is Brahman and he died. He is no more birth and death. We have understood now. Now, what happens at the time of death? That is what Videha Mukti. What is Videha Mukti? What happens to Videha Mukti is been told in the seventh mantra. Further, we shall try to understand it, which is very beautifully explained. Gataha kalaha panchadasha pratishtha devashcha sarve pratidevatasu karmani vijnanamayascha atma pare avyaye sarva eki bhavanti. To their sources, repair the 15 constituents, and to their respective gods go all the gods. The karmas and the soul appearing like the intellect all become unified with the supreme undecaying. Now in the Gnani, either at the time of death, what happens? A Gnani has got two parts. One is Atma part, one is Anatma part, or material part and spiritual part. The spiritual part is what? It is Atma. We all know that. It is Chaitanya, consciousness. Anatma part or material part is what? It is three type of shariras. Swamiji, what are three shariras? If you ask, I'll be in problem. Please, I hope you remember. Again, if not, again, care of Tattva Bodha classes. So one is Stula Sharira, gross body. The other is subtle body, Sukshma Sharira. And the third is causal body, that is Karana Sharira. Okay. Now, at the time of death or after the death, what happens? Your Stula body retains here only with your relatives. Then if they bury, then it becomes a pot full of mud. And if they burn, it becomes pot full of ash. So basically, your Stula Sharira has been retained here, and it has been made from Panchabhutas, from 5 grass elements: space, earth, water, fire, and air. And that 5 elements, it goes back. This is what happens to Stula Sharira. Now, in the ignorant person, this Sukshma Sharira and Karana Sharira, it travels from one life to another. So when they say after the death, where does the soul goes? Where does soul travel? If you ask, no, it is a wrong question. Soul never travels. Only your Sukshma Sharira and Karana Sharira only travels. So death means what? When Stula Sharira and Karana Sharira departs from the physical body, it is called death. And birth means what? Sukshma Sharira and Karana Sharira enters to the mother's womb, and the Stula Sharira has been developed, and that's what, when it comes out, we say it as a birth. So this birth and death keeps on happening for all of us. But for the Gnani, the Videha Mukta Purusha, at the time of death, when he realizes what happens, Stula body is retained here and it has been burnt or buried, then it goes back to their Panchabhutas, no doubt. Then This Sukshma Sharira is made up of Sukshma Tanmatras and also presiding deities. They go back to Tanmatras, will go back to Tanmatras, and the Devatas, presiding deities, Devatas, Amsha, whatever is their parts, that goes back to them. And the Karna Sharira, which is made up of ignorance, is been removed or destroyed, then the individuality goes away. Just like simple example I can give you, now Ganga river. From Himalaya, we were worshipping till Ganga Sagar. When it goes and merges in the Bay of Bengal, then what happens to Ganga? Water is there only, no doubt. It is mixed with water, but we cannot separate it. But water is there only. But the individuality called Ganga has been dissolved. In the Bay of Bengal, how much ever you try, you cannot find where is that Ganga water. You cannot do. Like Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati, or what you say, Brahmaputra. So many rivers are merging in the ocean. Till merging, they had their individuality, but when it merged with the ocean, the water part is there, no doubt, but their individuality has been lost, isn't it? That's what called moksha or mukti. So similarly, so the reflecting medium called Stula, Sukshma Sharira and Karna Sharira has been dissolved or has been destroyed for the Mukta Purusha. That's why for him, no more birth and no more death. No more death. That has been told in the seventh thing. Now, here, Panchadasha Kalaha Gataha. 15 Kalas actually. Kala means here constituents. So this has been told in detail in actually Prashna Upanishad. In the Prashna Upanishad, they give a list. Prana and Kam. Kam means what do you say? Space or ether, Vayu, Jyoti, Apa, Prutivi, Indriya, Mana, Annam, Virya, Tapaha, Shraddha, Mantra, Karma, Loka, Nama, etc. So these are the 16 constituents. So among these 16 constituents, Panchadasha Kalaha, 15 constituents, Gataha, where in Pratishtha. The 15 constituents are merged in the support. Pratishtha means support. Here support means into the Adhisthana or into the source. Why not 16? So according to the commentator, they say 16th is called Nama, name remains. Name remains means what? A person's name is there because he's a relation, or as the name Brahman is there. That's what the technical thing is there, but we will not go too much into that. Basically, from the whole body is made from whatever the constituents that will go back. So from the ocean, the river, because of the sunlight, the water got evaporated and the clouds were formed and it came from in the form of rain and the rivers were formed. And the same river water again went and merged into the ocean. So from the source, from wherever the water came back, and again it got entered into the source. So similarly, so the Sukshma Sharira and Karna Sharira has come from the source and it has gone back to the source. That's what the first line says. So Panchadasha Kalaha Gataha Pratishta means they go back to their source. Like river merges with the ocean. Okay. One is Sukshma Tanmatras and all I said. And apart from that, Devashta Sarve Pradidevatasu. Again, in the Tattva Bodha we have discussed. Every organ, either Karmendriya or Jnanendriya, has been, what you say, presided by a deity. For an example, mind. Mind is presided by a Chandra. And for example, eyes. Eyes presiding deity is what? Surya. And ear presiding deity is what? Vayu. So similarly, every organ is presiding by a deity. And presiding deities, they have given their amsha, sukshma amshas, their portion to form this body, the sukshma sharira, subtle body. Devashta sarve pradidevatasu. So when a person attains mukti, then he left his body, means when he dies, passes away, his sukshma sharira components, all whatever the devatas has given their parts, and all will go to their respective devatas. So from Surya, whatever I had got, that has gone to Surya. From Vayu, I have got something, it went to Vayu. From Chandra, I got it, and it has gone to the Chandra. Means from source, from wherever we got it, it has gone to that. It has been merged there. Karmani, Devashta Sarve Pradidevatasu, Karmani, and even the karmas also. Based on the time of fructification, the karma fruits, karma means karma phala, has been classified into 3 groups. most of you know, I think. One is prarabdha karma, prarabdha, sanchita, agami. Whatever we have done and accumulated, that is called sanchita. Among them, some part we have withdrawn for this present life, that is called prarabdha. And some which we are going to do further actions, future actions, and we are going to accrue the future results, that is called agami. Now, when a person attains mukti, what happens? Sanchita gets destroyed. So whatever the bank balance was there, that gets eradicated, that becomes nil, that becomes zero. So sanchita karma will be destroyed. Then agami, no more accumulation of the fresh karma phala, because kartrutva, bhoktrutva, bodha, doership and enjoyership is no more. So no agami also. Then what about prarabdha? Yes, till the exhaustion of prarabdha, this body lives. Once the prarabdha has been exhausted, then he leaves this mortal coil. So all karma phala has been destroyed, has been nullified. So karma phala is what what do you say, fuel for the vehicle. So similarly, without no karma phala means no more birth and no more death. So he's free from all karma phalas, is free from all prarabdhas. Then vijnanamayascha. Here, Vijnanamaya means it is the notion of intellect, they say, but actually it is the notion of individual soul or individuality. I, Swami Shantivratananda, I as a Rama, I as a Anjan, I as a Anjana, I as a Chandrani, like that we have got our individualities, isn't it? The notion of individuality. That individuality also get merged in the Atman. The Ganga, when it merges in Ganga Sagar, the notion of, the Ganga's individuality has been lost. The water has not been lost, but the individuality of Ganga has been lost. Okay. Pare, where it has been lost? In Para. Pare avyaye, which is immutable, which is eternal, which is indestructible. Pare means that in the self or in the Brahman. Sarve, sarva eki bhavanti. It gets merged. Means, so when I die, this physical body has been left here. It has come from the 5 physical components. It went back. In Sukshma Sharira, there were, in a Sukshma Sharira, Sukshma Tanmatras were there. They went back to Tanmatras. And Devatas components were there. That also went back. Ignorance has been removed. And whatever the conscious was there, that individuality notion also has been dissolved. Then what happens? Then everything has been merged in the Brahman. So there is no individuality. Since there is no individuality, no more birth and no more death. He is eternally free. He is eternally free also. It is only limited way we will say, actually, in the limited sense. In reality, we cannot tell because there is no individuality at all. Now, how is it? It is a simple one. Just I'll finish this one, last sloka also. 8th sloka. Yatha nadyaha sendamanaha samudre stam gachanti namarupe vihaya tata vidvat namarupad vimukta parat param purushamupaiti divyam. Has been example has been given how to the 7th mantra's idea has been explained further by giving an example. As rivers flowing down become indistinguishable on reaching the sea by giving up their names and forms, so also the illumined soul, having become free from name and form, reaches the self-effulgent Purusha, that is higher than the higher. Higher than the higher means higher than the Maya. I don't think you need any explanation. Just like any a river goes and merges with the ocean, what happens? Its individuality, the name and form has been lost. So similarly, when the individual self merges with the Brahman, its individuality, the notion of individuality has been lost. With the example of river merging in the ocean has been told in the 8th sloka, 8th mantra, that I think which we know. I'm not going into detail. The next class, 3 more slokas are there. 3 more slokas we'll be doing in the next class, and that will be ending the Mundaka Upanishad. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Shri Rama Krishna Arpanamastu. Yeah, any questions?
Swamiji, when we are picking up these words, like you picked up Dhira, you picked up even Brahmaloka, you gave a different interpretation. how do you decide, right? It's somebody's interpretation you are basing on. Like Brahmaloka can be interpreted, you
Brahman.
have interpreted as Brahman, but it can be
Yes.
interpreted as Brahmaloka also.
Yes.
Uh, it's not a, it's not like, every person who will read will have his own interpretation, right? So you will go with somebody's interpretation, or is there some other
Yes.
way to figure out that this is exactly what it
Yeah,
is?
two, three things. One is uh, you should know. See, one is study. One is a good amount of study. When you do, you will be able to understand. That's the first thing. And the knowledge of bit Sanskrit, second thing. And the third is, so there is also an essence of Upanishad. Upanishad or any scripture, it is trying to tell something, convey. So based on that, these things are discussed or decided. And of course, there are few other nyayas and logics also is there. Apart from all these things, whatever Shankaracharya has given is commentary for this. Shankaracharya and the monks of Ramakrishna Mission have given the commentaries or the explanations. So based on that also, I generally tell all of them. And some of them are when I study, when I get these understandings or the ideas, I do express it also.
What I was trying to understand is for example, different schools of Vedanta, right? So Dvaita school may interpret that Brahman as Brahmaloka, or
You are right.
different interpretation. So
You are
people
right.
are allowed that flexibility. No, depends on their
Yes.
understanding. They can.
Why? Because if you see the Upanishad is not going to teach any system of thought or a school of thought or system of philosophy, basically. So it is like a big vessel where everything there's a raw product. The raw product we take and we produce different products, isn't it? So similarly, Upanishad has not given a systematic thought in that way. So a school of thought, for an example, or rather. So the acharyas or the commentators have brought the system of thought or a school of thought using the Upanishads. So, for an example, as you rightly told, Brahma Lokeshu. Now, from the Advaita point of view, Brahma Loka should be taken as Brahman. Now, for example, Vishishtadvaitin or Dvaitin, if they say, yes, Brahma Loka means here it is called Vaikunta or Narayana Loka or Vishnu Loka. So, he goes to Vaikunta. So, no more birth and no more death, he may say that. Quite possible.
Pranam Maharaj, can you please explain that Paramrita again?
Paramruta. Para Amrutaha. Paramruta means Para Amrutaha. So Paramrutaha means for who is to whom the supreme immortality means Para Amrutaha means for those who the Brahman is highest and who has experienced that highest Brahman. Para Amrutaha, the deathless Brahman or the indestructible self or the Brahman has become their very self, who has experienced that I am the Brahman. That is, they are called Paramrutaha.
Maharaj, Pranam. Maharaj, there are three types of muktis you talked about. One is the Jivan Mukti, and then second one is Videhi Mukti. And third one?
The third mukti is called Krama Mukti. The Krama Mukti says like this. So you have done enough tapas, good amount of sadhana, good amount of tapas. Maybe little was left out. Little was left out and you died. Because you had got lot of punya. Lot of punya you had got. So you went to Brahmaloka. So apart from this Bhuloka, this earth, there is no other place where you can do sadhana. Only Brahmaloka is before Brahmaloka, if you go to any loka, then after your exhaustion of your karma phala, punya or papa, you have to come back to the earth. Whereas Brahmaloka, once you go, you will not come back from the Brahmaloka, as per our Puranas. So he has done enough punya and enough sadhana. Maybe little was left out. Because of his accumulation of enormous punya and enough sadhana, he went to Brahmaloka. He stayed there after some years or at the end of the particular cycle, yuga. at the end of cycle, he attains moksha or mukti. That is called Krama Mukti. So from Bhuloka, he goes to Brahmaloka, he stays there for some amount of time, he finishes his sadhana. Either after the finish of sadhana or at the end of the cycle, he attains mukti. That is called Krama Mukti.
I was just reading one post from Swami Turiyananda. There it is written that merely scholarly lecturing does not bear any result. This is the secret. So this is the thing. And now we are, just now you told to Samit that you have to read a lot of scriptures. So is it not different from what we
Yes,
just
correct.
saw?
Yes, it is a right question. This question should come. Now, why should you attend class? Or why should you study Swamiji? Or why should you give lecture? Yes. So this is what 2-3 angles we can think like this. Now, if I had not studied, if I was not studying Vedanta, or if you are not hearing Vedanta, what will you do? Either you will see TV, or you will chat with someone, or you will talk nonsense or some useless things with some people. So by studying Vedanta, by hearing Vedanta, or by talking Vedanta, so much time, at least you are spending your time in a right way, in a good way, in a better way. That's why we should do. First point. Okay. And this is what called Swamiji is called dehypnotization. Someone argues and someone accuses Swami Vivekananda, you are hypnotizing everyone from your Vedantic talk. Swami Vivekananda says, no, I'm not hypnotizing people, I'm dehypnotizing people. What? People have been hypnotized that I am the body, I am the mind, I'm the so-called individual or whatever. So by studying Vedanta, we are getting dehypnotized. How to understand? For example, 20 years before, now you, let God forbid, let not happen. For example, for discussion's sake, we will say, you are facing some problem now. Now the amount of reaction you are doing, the amount of, the way you are reacting, the amount of suffering is happening in you. If the same problem, if it had happened 20 years before, the way you reacted, the amount of suffering you underwent, and the notion of reality which was there earlier, and studying for a few years of Vedanta, there will be a lot of change in you. You are not a religious person, I am not a religious person, but my approach towards it, my suffering, my intensity of suffering has reduced a lot. So this is one more, the benefit of studying Vedanta. And time and again, when we remind time and again, I am that self, not the body and mind, and I have to try and I have to realize. So that will help us, that will probably can be, if we use it rightly, I mean to say, that can help us to kindle that spiritual fire, our Vakulata, our Vairagya and all, so that we can progress further in our spiritual life. That's why it is called satsang. Satsang means what? It is the holy company. Holy company means company of holy people, company of holy thoughts, company of oneself. Oneself means not with body and mind, with the self actually. And company with the existence, which is telling about the real existence or right existence or whatever. Yeah. But all these things will have some effect, no doubt. But that has to be put into practice, no doubt.
Completely convinced, Maharaj. Completely convinced, Maharaj.
Pranam Maharaj, on this particular aspect of what was indicated about simply studying won't take us anywhere. Now, this is where actually we should also bring into practice Sri Ramakrishna's teachings.
Of course.
That having studied, now it is your opportunity, it is your responsibility to discriminate between the real and the unreal.
Yes.
So study has given you that opportunity. Once we have got that opportunity of studying the Upanishads, attending the lectures, attending the talks, now is the time for us to utilize that learning into further discrimination.
Yeah, it has to be put into practice, no doubt. Yes.
Maharaj, a simple question may I ask? Not this high level. So, So this we are talking about the 7 lokas. So this Maha, Jana, Tapa, they are above this Swalok, right?
Sorry?
That Maha, Jana, Tapa, these are above this Swalok, Swargalok.
So the you got to say the gradation goes like Bhuloka, that is Arth, we are living, okay? Then Bhuvarloka, then Suvarloka. Suvarloka is called Swarga.
So
Suvarloka,
above that,
Maharloka, Janarloka, Taparloka, then Brahmaloka.
So, but all the devtas are gods, demigods are in the Swargalok itself. So
Mostly.
who reside? So who are there in that Mahajana Tapo? Because they are also coming back.
Yes, different type of jivas are there.
They are above
exactly, yes.
gods.
Yeah,
Who are they? I mean, because
Sri himself says, like Saptarshi Loka, he says, and where even devatas cannot go there. Where devatas cannot go there, that Saptarshi Mandala, and where Sri Ramakrishna in meditation, he went there and he saw one Rishi and he asked him, I'm going, will you come? He said, yes, and that's how Nararushi came. Because I asked him, so he came, Nararushi, as a Swami Vivekananda. That's what the Sri Ramakrishna's, that spiritual experience itself can be said, yes. And there itself, Sri Ramakrishna says, into the Saptarshi Loka, even the devatas cannot peep in there. They cannot come there.
Yes.
So,
but that Saptarshi Lok is below Brahma Lok. Means whoever is there in Saptarshi Lok, they are not getting that Krama Mukti. They are also coming back.
Yeah. So it is very difficult to say that, because in Saptarshis, I mean, from the Puranas, whatever we see, and Sri Ramakrishna's experience of Saptarshi Mandala is completely different. Sri Ramakrishna explains the Saptarshi Mandala there. What I understand is that their Saptarshis are Brahmagnanis. They are experiencing the self, or they are in Nirvikalpa Samadhi there. But from the Purana point of view, if you ask, they say till Brahmaloka, below Brahmaloka, whichever loka you go, you have to come back. And whoever goes to Brahmaloka, they will not come back. That is what the explanation given by Puranas.
Yes. No, I am just trying to understand that if we do good work, good karma, then we are going to Swargalok and we will get some position, some devata we can be. So, but that is in Swargalok, Sarga only. But who are then going to the 3 above lokas, below Brahma Loka?
Yeah, I will see.
And why they are coming back?
Why they are coming back is probably, it is called a cosmic law. It is a Ishvara Ichara. That's how the nature has been developed, or the Sushti Krama, or the Sushti Niyama, we can say that. That's how the cosmic law is there. Till Brahmaloka, whoever goes to the lokas below Brahmaloka, all of them has to come back, return. Only one who goes to Brahmaloka, they will not turn back. That is what the cosmic law. In Mahar Janar Loka, who will be there, I'm not able to remember. At least I will refer and I'll come back to you in the next class.
Thank you.
But in the cycle of this creation, maintenance, and destruction, so the jivatmas or the atmas or the Brahma, they are going to Brahmalok. They will not come back, but other than that, all will come back. In the cycle, right? Have I understood right?
Yes, yes.
But can we conclude that Saptarshi is the as per their own wish or will, they can take shape of a human birth and then to educate or this thing and then goes back to samadhi or whatever. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Thank you.